Social housing in Stoke-on-Trent has been critical to the city's life over a period of 100 years. It's allowed people to have better lives, to have healthier lives. It's provided people with foundations. It's allowed them to grow families, to find opportunity. It was built by the people, for the people.
The wonderful thing about Stoke-on-Trent, of course, is it's relatively new. It's probably at most about 300 years old, and much has happened in that 300 years. We begin with the start of the pottery industry, specifically in certain areas, around about 6 particular areas. That is a very, very powerful industry. It's an international industry. As with all pot banks, they need, all industry for that matter, they need employees. And of course, they never provided housing for employers, so most people lived where they could. So Stoke-on-Trent had its slums, and that's where the overcrowding starts to really become prominent. Because of the sickness and health due to overcrowding. It was not fit for human habitat, living above and next to people that you couldn't escape from. The meals that others were eating, the smells of other people around you, the domestic rows that inevitably were going on all these times. And that was the big issue. How do you resolve overcrowding? In 1910, 6 towns decided that they would formalise a federation. First thing is how do you look after the people in the houses? How do you look after your employees? That new council had to start making provisions for housing. Council suddenly woke up to the fact that it had become their duty now to look after its communities, and it became important. It was top of the bill. Find housing for people and social housing. And the only way to do that, obviously, is to move out of the towns, move people out of the towns, and to build houses for them. And so they moved them out to new estates, what we call now council estates.
So here we are, Sutton Drive on the Stoke Lodge estate in Trent Vale. Some of the earliest social housing built in the city of Stoke-on-Trent post-Federation. It was built following the Addison Act in 1919, which gave subsidies to local authorities to allow them to build better quality, better standard homes. The army had noticed in the First World War that soldiers, the physical fitness wasn't great, and that was linked to poor quality housing. So here we are, some of the first social housing built in the city of Stoke-on-Trent, completed around 100 years ago. Well, the overall goal, first of all, starting to lay down some design standards for housing, more spacious, access to green space, hot and cold running water, sanitation. All these basic things that we take for granted. Back then it was new. This was groundbreaking stuff. People were this is luxury. This was like being on another planet. Post World War II, there was a huge push from government. There was this vision there about building more homes, about building communities, and Bentley, I would say, was probably the city's flagship social housing scheme following the war. It was the biggest and most ambitious, but it was about more than housing. The initial plans included plans for a cinema, community facilities, obviously shops, jobs. It's hard to envisage, what it must have been like in those post-war years for people coming from a smoky, dirty environment to the clean air of the country. People were coming in, big spacious houses, lots of open space, a much better environment, Yeah, it changed people's lives. We still need to hold on to that sort of idealism, I think. That sort of thinking genuinely changed people's lives. All the things that come together to make a community.
Hi, I'm Bev. I live in social housing and I live in the Bentley area. Well, we call it the Bent. It's okay as the Bent. I'm proud to be part of Bentley. The community spirit, I'd say, is the best in the city. And I just love it. I just love like being out there in the community. On a Tuesday, we go to the children's hub. It's called the bread and butter thing, and you get 3 bags of food, a bag of cupboard food, you get a bag of fruit and veg, and then you get a chilled bag of food as well. Well, it is important, you know, it just goes to show that there is communities that all come together. I've lived in this bungalow now for 3 years. There's nothing wrong with social housing. We're lucky that we've got so many houses in the city, and there is going to be new builds coming forward in the next few years. So hopefully there'll be more people coming into social housing. Like I say, I love everything about it. And I've lived in social housing now for 12 years, and it has been the best time of my life being in social housing. I just hope that I can be as happy in the future as I am now living here.
Hi, I'm Councillor Chris Robinson. I'm the Cabinet Member for Planning, Housing, Governance and Licensing. Social housing has a massive part to play. It helps younger people, it helps people get on the ladder, housing ladder. It also helps the elderly, because it can't be good for somebody who has lost a partner, had a family. Mental health of people that are sitting all day in a living room on their own can't be good. It gives them the chance to reinvigorate their lives again, and gives them that like second lease of life, a more better standard of life, I think.
My mum was basically matriarch of the family, right? So our family home was always built on the premise of togetherness and, you know, being harmonious. But then when my mum got the stroke, things kind of changed a little bit. She was bedridden for a long time, so we had to move her into a residential setting where she could have freedom of movement. And that was the first step of kind of like some self-healing, some motivation, and to give her a good lease of life moving forward.
We are in our West End village. It's a beautiful community. The people are lovely, they're friendly, and they're very caring. You know, I usually be a busy person, meeting people out there before I had the stroke. So when I come here, I see people and I mingle with people. So it's beautiful.
To see my mum at peace is a good thing, to see the goal past the rainbow. She's always got a story to tell, a new story to tell, do you know what I mean? Like she'll tell me about she's gone here, she'll go there, and it's just great, it's just fantastic. As a child, you tend to forget that your parents get old and then you become kind of like a guardian. And to let her go to somewhere where I'm happy, and comfortable and confident that I can leave her there and be like, all right, cool, mum's gonna be all right. That is an absolute gift. I'm at peace with that because she's at peace with that, so I'm happy with that.
Homelessness across the city is a huge issue. You know, homelessness is increasing. I think you can compound that with temporary accommodation as well, in terms of the impact that that has on people's lives, children particularly. You know, the numbers are increasing significantly, you know, on a daily basis. So I think homelessness is a big issue for Stoke-on-Trent.
You know, 1 in 5 LGBTQ+ people experience homelessness at one point in their lives, and there's no specialised care and housing for those people.
It's been a bit of a blur sort of thing, because I was suffering really bad with my mental health, and Mum just decided one day she couldn't do it anymore. I don't blame my mum for it. So I moved into a local young people project, and I felt like I couldn't be myself. It terrified me at night because they would be screaming, shouting, had the police around, and I just didn't feel safe. I spent 4 months, 5 months in my accommodation, then I got kicked out. Never thought it would happen. And that's what I don't think people understand. People don't choose to be homeless. I was terrified, and I rang my mum and I was like, I don't know what to do. That's what worried me the most, like, where am I gonna go? And then I got the phone call being like, oh, we have this project that we're starting up, would you be interested? And I was like, yes, 100% yes. And that's how I got to Phoenix.
Phoenix House is the first specialised social housing for LGBTQ+ people, and it's a safe place for people to come if they've been experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness.
Weight was lifted off my shoulder. It felt nice to finally be able to be me, sort of thing. I mean, I came out in 2020, but it was only since I moved to Stoke that I've actually been able to express myself. And like here, being here, I've only been able to express myself. So coming to Phoenix has changed me for the better. Yeah, my mum says I'm more happier than I was, and like I am a totally different person. So because she's seen a change, I've seen a change.
I just think Phoenix House is an amazing project and has a lot more potential for growth. I'd love to see more of this be a thing in the future.
For people with physical or learning disabilities, social housing isn't just about providing the right properties, it's about giving them the support they need to live safely and happily. It helps build confidence, foster new connections, and opens doors to opportunities many take for granted. It gives people the chance to not just survive, but to thrive and build lives together.
I'm Mark and I'm from social housing. Yeah, I'm autistic, also known as limited edition syndrome, because there's not many of us, but there's plenty of us to go around. I went to mainstream schooling, then we ended up going to a learning disability college, and it's where I met Danny.
We started like talking to each other and like having a dance to each other and stuff, so we just clicked it off. At a Christmas disco at the YMCA, we got together then.
When we got together, we was in social housing. Been together for 12 years in December. So this is my wedding speech, what I said to Danny on the wedding day. Hello everyone. Thanks to all our family and friends who have come along to our big day, especially Grandad Kev for walking Danny the wrong way down the aisle. Now about the main reason for today. I met Danny 14 years ago, but little did I know how much impact he would have on my life and on my art. Danny is the most beautiful person my eyes have ever seen. The first ever time I spoke to Danny, I instantly had butterflies and feelings of love and knew that she would be my one and only. I know my speech is short and sweet, But like Danny, perfection comes in small packages. So will you all please stand and make your glasses to my soulmate, my world and my beautiful wife, Danny? No.
Yeah. Shakes a little bit because I've not heard it for a while. It just brought me back the memories of when we got married. Me getting overwhelmed. It was a very nice day.
The forum is a number of registered providers that have come together across the city, and what we're trying to achieve is to work collaboratively rather than competitively to achieve more results for the residents of the city. We have a core membership which is Honeycomb Group, Stoke-on-Trent City Council, Epic Housing and Brighter Future Housing, and then there's around another 10 registered providers that are actually in attendance.
You know, at its heart, it's around sharing and connecting and seeing what we could do together.
So this is quite groundbreaking, is that we're actually coming together, being very open and honest about challenges, how we're dealing with those challenges and how we can work better for the impact of the residents within the city.
Like temporary accommodation, like homelessness, empty homes that we have in Stoke-on-Trent. I think that's a big part of the work that we can do together as a forum to see the strength of bringing us together to actually do more, to provide more homes in Stoke-on-Trent that residents will benefit from. So social housing for me is around the connections and the relationships that you build and create, because it's about people's lives. Yes, homes are key, but actually at the core, at the heart, it's about relationships. The future of social housing in Stoke-on-Trent is looking positive. I think, you know, the government that's in the latest spending review, 39 billion that are going into building new homes, that has to be a real positive for housing.
On a national basis, there is a real push to build more social housing, so you can see registered providers absolutely looking to build.
I think the biggest challenge for housing is around how we grab hold of that and make that happen and don't kind of sit back and just watch for it to take place. I think and every organisation has a part to play in that.
In the future, the new properties that we're building now are very, very eco-friendly, and people that move into our properties at the moment say how well they've been built and how nice they are. But I'd like to bring our old stock up to a standard, and I think we're doing that. I think we're on the way. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the job's done. I think we've got a long way to go. We can do it. I can see the green shoots changing now.
Social housing has a bright future. It has a bright future because people have recognised its importance. We've got a situation where home ownership is getting way beyond the means of a lot of people, and not just working class people. And because of that recognition, people are going to want to see more of it. There needs to be something for these people. We've done it before and we can do it again.